Well, hello there and welcome back to Far Out Tiny Homes. You have found us. My name is Jillian.
I'm Josh.
And we are happy to be here today. We have an awesome video chocked full of information that if you are in search of a builder, these are going to be awesome key points for you to focus on while you research builders to choose the one that resonates with you the most. So let's get into it.
So we have 5 items to consider when going into this tiny home journey, and we'd like to discuss them here. So without further ado, number 1.
Yes, number 1 is, how do I find a reputable home builder? If you pop into any of the Facebook pages that are all tiny home, container home related, that question pops up all the time. People asking, what do I look for? What are the key points? What's good? What's bad? Who has the experience? And so we're here to shed a little bit of light on what we think a potentially successful process could look like when it comes to finding a reputable builder. So the first big thing is you're going to need to get to know this builder. Get to know this builder from a company standpoint, from a personal standpoint, and begin by researching their social media platforms. What kind of content are they putting out there? Are they just simply promoting their work, or are they taking the time to inspire and educate and really help this tiny home movement move? And then second, you're going to want to look for how they're interacting with their subscribers or with their followers. Are they active when answering questions? How long does it take them to get back to the person asking the question? When they answer, are they thoughtful or are they just quick responses? These are all indicators of how they potentially will communicate with you and interact with you. After you've kind of done a little bit of research on their social media, it's time to dig into reviews. Go and see what people are saying. Check out their Facebook page reviews, to Google and check out those reviews, and also Yelp. It's always great to comb through their responses as well.
All that stuff is super important. Call me old-fashioned. That's where Jillian and I kind of share the balances. She's media, reviews, Google, everything there. I'm call them. Give them a phone call. Get their contact page and call them. Are you getting to talk with the owners directly, or you put on the phone with somebody else and say, well, they're in a meeting, we'll give you a call back? Do they call back? When you email them, what's their response time like? All of these things. If they're not getting back to you quickly and not really seeming that interested in the build, again, this is a great indicator as to how the build process might be. If you're not resonating with them on the phone, or you don't feel like they're giving you the answers that you're seeking, then you gotta find somebody who's going to give you those answers.
Yeah, exactly. And like Josh was saying, it's all about energy. This is a huge process that you are about to embark on, and you want to do it with somebody that you find energetically appealing, somebody that you can learn from, and most importantly, somebody that is going to create the space of your dreams. So make sure you feel good about the fit.
Yeah, so number 2 is the types of certifications that your tiny home comes with, as well as what types of certifications your tiny home builder has.
So for example, if you've already combed through tiny house listings or even the Facebook marketplace, there are tons of tiny homes up for sale. Many of them don't come with any certification, so you're not really ever able to see the bones of the unit and understand what the structural elements are and the links that the builder went to make sure that the home is safe. It's vitally important that you check in with the builders that you are considering and learn about their certification and what their inspection process looks like. For us specifically at Far Out Tiny Homes, we are NOAA certified. NOAA is an acronym for the National Organization of Alternative Housing, and they have basically put the framework together to inspect tiny homes on wheels, container homes, and mobile business units.
So yeah, through NOAA, we have a 5-point inspection process that goes from structural, rough-in, electrical and plumbing, insulation, and then final inspection. So through each stage of this, through the stages of this process, you are able to have video recordings and document everything that's going on. So if there ever is an issue, we can go back and target its location. And that being said, we haven't had any major issues with our builds, and we are able to communicate and give this peace of mind to our client throughout the process and saying, hey, we just finished the inspection, everything went great, looking forward to installing the windows or what have you. So
more specifically in regards to our certification, we are certified by NOAA, which is affiliated with ANSI, which is an acronym ANSI, and it stands for the American National Standards Institute. So basically, ANSI has us building with longevity in mind. We're using really great material. All the units are incredibly structurally sound, and then as we go through the filming process, every bit of our build is recorded. And we're also associated with the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Association. And this basically just ensures that we are building with safety in mind, especially when it comes to fire. So the kind of materials that we're using and the points of egress that are staples within our tiny homes.
So we're somewhere between 1 and 4, and we know you want some more. Hit that like button and subscribe. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys. Number 3 has to do with budget considerations. So we, as a custom home builder, we do not have a bevy of layouts for our clients to choose from. We literally go in and we create the groundwork for the layout, and we're working one-on-one with our client. Well, with that in mind comes a pretty lengthy estimation process. We always appreciate when a client actually does their research and doesn't come to us with a budget that we could in absolutely no way meet. For example, we've received quite a few calls from people that had, $10,000 to $15,000, and while that is a nice chunk of money, unfortunately that wouldn't even begin to cover the material costs for our units. So for example, we spend about $5 to $10,000 per trailer for each unit. And I totally understand that this is a hefty expense, but you also have to consider that the trailer is in some sense your foundation. And when it comes to a standard stick-built home, you definitely would never skimp on the foundation of your home.
Absolutely, and budget again. For the material, I want to add to this is that $10,000 to $15,000 price is a DIY price. So if you're a DIYer and you're looking to build like a 20-foot tiny home, it's totally doable. This is what you get with a tiny home builder is, again, the certifications. You're getting something that has a resale value. You're getting it done and constructed by somebody that knows what they're doing. So this is something that lasts and can be marketed while if you're trying to sell the home. In terms of budget as well, is something to consider is your local region. What type of material is available if you're looking to special order things and you're trying to get a specific type of tile or a shower insert or what have you. Time, that could be 9 weeks out on a specific dishwasher. We've had that.
Yes.
So, sometimes picking and choosing what you need to meet a budget as well as a timeline. For instance, as well, if you're in Nevada where we receive less rainfall, we might design and construct the house differently to accommodate for that versus a home that would need extra flashing and sealing around windows and roofs and a higher pitched roof for a place like the Upper Northwest.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Budget is always directly correlated with locale as well. And one more thing to consider when thinking budget is the quality of material that you're putting into your home. Again, for instance, the metal siding that we put on our home has a 40+ year warranty backed by the manufacturer themselves. So you're given that peace of mind that you have a product that's not only going to last, but if something does go wrong, they're going to replace that. So if you're, again, looking to do this inexpensively or quote unquote cheap, which we don't ever suggest, don't ever build anything cheap. There are things to consider when doing your budget. You want to allocate your funds on important items like your hot water heater, your heating and cooling, your exterior finishes, everything that's going to really protect your home, and then that will allow you an leeway when you start getting into more of the decorating and tile choices and all
exactly. And you can actually check out, I'll go ahead and link it above now, the very first tiny home that we built on a very minuscule budget of $10,000 cash and then a few different charge accounts, and the end result was about a $19,000 tiny home. So if you go check out that video, it's going to give you a really good idea of what you can get for your money. But Josh had a really great point as far as choosing quality material, because much of the quality material that we work with comes with some pretty substantial warranties. So the next item to consider is the warranty from the builder and the warranted appliances or material from the manufacturer.
So not only do you need to make sure that your materials come with some type of warranty, again, good quality products come with good quality warranties. So put things in your home that are not only going to last, but you're taken care of if and when they don't. Things arise. Make sure that the builder that you're working with is offering some type of warranty and standing behind their work. That way you're taken care of at a reasonable amount of time, and you need to ask these questions. What type of warranty does my unit come with?
Yeah, exactly. And this also extends to the manufacturer's warranty with all sorts of kitchen appliances, but most importantly, the heating and cooling system. So we work with a company called Sinville to supply our mini splits, and more specifically, we use their eco-friendly mini split line. So we're saving our clients on energy costs right off the bat, which is great, and the units are really awesome.
Super efficient.
Super efficient. But here's the caveat, and there's potential that maybe your builder doesn't know this, but just check in. So you want to make sure that whatever your heating and cooling system is, look at the warranty and understand what that warranty states. Generally speaking, if the builder is not certified as an HVAC technician, that warranty is kaput after they install the unit. And generally these warranties are an additional 3 to 5 years. So it's something that you want to make sure you have. So how do we get around doing this? Ask specific questions. Ask your builder, who will be installing my heating and cooling system, to make sure that I'm able to obtain that warranty from the manufacturer. The next item to consider is any sort of gas line work. You want to make sure you have a certified gas technician that is installing not only the lines, but the units themselves, whether that's an instant hot water heater, a propane refrigerator, and so on and so forth. But this is vitally important, because if you have somebody that doesn't do it right or is not certified, again, the warranty is invalid. And those are big, expensive items. So we can't stress this enough. Ask these important questions. If the builder is at all hesitant to be straightforward and honest with you, you need to pack it up and move along. And last, let's check in with the contract. This is a shared acknowledgement, shared agreement between yourself and the builder you choose. You definitely need to read it line by line and highlight any areas of concerns or questions that arise.
Yeah, and this is all directly correlated with inspection and warranty and budget. Again, have these things planned out from the beginning. The better planning is the better end result. Know what type of materials are going into your home, what type of hot water heater you're going to get, what type of tile you're going to get. You don't want to expect one thing and then get your unit and have a completely different thing. This happens a lot with material. Materials are out, you need to pick something else. Make sure there's a clause that if the material is unavailable, the builder will then call you and say, hey, we're out of this tile, we need you to pick another one by X date because we're looking to do it. That type of stuff needs to be communicated. If it's not, you could end up with a tile choice or something that you weren't expecting. So how are the changes going to be defined and approached, right? How will change orders happen, whether it be through manufacturer or from your own desire and wanting to change something in your home?
Exactly. And that leads directly right into, once the unit has been, designed, constructed, passed inspection, the final inspection, which is really quality control. What does that process look like? Are you going to afford a ticket to fly out to your tiny home build manufacturing facility and inspect the unit yourself? Or are you going to just use technology to your advantage and have a digital meeting? Are you going to record that meeting? What areas are you going to look at specifically within that final tiny home inspection to make sure that you are happy with your tiny home build? I've seen horror stories in so many different forums of folks getting their tiny home, and then there's just so much cosmetic repair that was overlooked, whereas if they would have inspected it in person, they would have caught these items. And then they're just kind of left with a builder that's like, you can fix that yourself if you really want, and they're dissatisfied. So make sure in that contract there is some form of quality control. You also want to make sure that, let's say you do find something, what does that follow-up process look like? Is the builder going to come out and fix it themselves? Are they going to hire somebody local to you? And who is paying for that? Is that going to be the builder's expense or your expense?
And add to that, again, it's all about the contract. Make sure that these things are detailed out. If there's something in there that you don't agree with or would like an amendment for, the builder should be willing to change the contract to accommodate. They're looking to gain your business, and if they're not looking to build you a home, then business isn't what you want to be doing with them. So specifically in our contract, we have a clause that states the client shall have 7 days to inspect unit upon arrival and notify far out tiny homes of any deficiencies that might arise. We haven't had any major issues or that happen. Most of our tiny homes we deliver ourselves, so we are able to walk through the homes with the client and go over that stuff immediately. That way we don't have to waste resources and having to fly out or hire another company. In terms of the container homes, those go and we either do a walkthrough video Zoom meeting and go over that with the client. And again, we haven't had any major issues, but like Jillian was saying, if there's something that does go wrong, what is expected? We take fully on, we stand behind our work, and if something does arise and we're not able to make it out there, yes, we're going to be trying to find a trusted contractor in your local area that's going to take care of you and remedy the situation.
Yep,
So
exactly. So let's keep this conversation going. Have you already gone through the tiny home build process? If so, what would you change about it? What were your likes and your dislikes? If you are new and you're looking for a builder, what is exactly stopping you? What are the questions that you need to have answered so you can move on? That about wraps it up, so I hope you took some notes. If not, I will make sure that in the description we kind of go over briefly what we talked about here. But we just want to say thank you all so very much for continuing to stop by, check out what's going on. We want to make sure we're always bringing you the most relevant information and up-to-date information in the tiny home world. We want to be looked at as a form of resource, inspiration, and education within this movement. So we're here for you guys.
we want to teach and we want to learn. So let's do this together for sure.
Well, we love you all so much. Thank you again for stopping by, and we hope you keep it groovy.